Meet Sarah and Tom. They're both 34, married for 6 years, and they make a combined $110,000 a year. They have good jobs, they're responsible, they pay their bills on time. By every reasonable standard, they're doing everything right. But here's what keeps them up at night. They have $8,000 in savings. They know they should have more. They track their spending, they use a budgeting app, they don't buy designer clothes or take expensive vacations, and yet, at the end of every month, there's just not much left. When they sit down and look at their bank statements, nothing jumps out as wasteful. No obvious holes, just a steady flow of money going out that somehow never adds up to the lifestyle they thought they'd be living at this income level. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Because what Sarah and Tom don't realize, and what most middle-class families don't realize, is that the biggest money leaks aren't the obvious ones. My name is Fad, and I spend way too much time thinking about why middle-class families who make good money still can't build wealth. If you're someone who feels like you should be further ahead financially than you actually are, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here's the thing about middle-class spending. The waste isn't dramatic. You're not blowing $50,000 on a sports car. The waste is quiet, normalized, and built into the structure of middle-class life itself. A 2023 Federal Reserve study found that families earning between $75,000 and $150,000 have the highest ratio of fixed expenses to income. They're locked into costs that don't flex down when life changes, and those costs, most fall into 7 categories that quietly drain wealth faster than almost anything else. Sarah and Tom's mortgage is $2,100 a month. Sounds reasonable. But add property taxes at $450, insurance at $180, utilities at $280, HOA fees at $85, and maintenance averaging $250, their house costs $3,345 monthly. That's $40,140 yearly, or 49% of their $82,000 take-home pay. Here's the waste. They use 3 of 4 bedrooms. The guest room gets used twice a year. The formal dining room? Thanksgiving only. The bonus room is storage. Research from Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies shows American homes have grown 62% since 1980, while household size decreased. We're paying for space we don't use. If they lived in a 1,600-square-foot house instead, housing would cost $2,400 monthly. That's $945 saved per month, or $11,340 yearly. Over 10 years invested at 8%, that's $172,000 they don't have because they're locked into a house that's too big. Sarah's Honda payment is $420 monthly. Tom's Ford truck is $580. Insurance for both is $285. Gas is $320. Maintenance and repairs is $200. Total transportation is $1,805 monthly, or $21,660 yearly, 26% of take-home pay. The waste? Tom works from home 4 days a week. His truck sits in the driveway, driving maybe 400 miles monthly. That's $1.45 per mile just for the payment. AAA reports the average new vehicle costs $11,728 yearly to own. For 2 newer cars, middle-class families spend over $21,000 annually on depreciating assets. If Tom drove a paid-off $8,000 sedan instead, they'd save $580 in payments, $80 in insurance, $100 in gas. That's $760 monthly, or $9,120 yearly. Combined with housing, we're at $20,460 in annual waste. Sarah and Tom's typical week: Thai food Monday, $45, Chipotle Wednesday, $15, Tom's work lunch, $13, pizza Friday, $38, brunch Saturday, $65, Starbucks Sunday, $12. That's $188 weekly, or $9,776 yearly on convenience food, not luxury dining, just not cooking. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports households earning $70,000 to $100,000 spend about $7,300 annually on food away from home. Reducing this by 60% would save $5,865 yearly. We're now at $26,325 in annual waste, and each purchase feels reasonable individually. That's the trap. Coming out of their accounts monthly. Netflix, $15.49, Disney Plus, $10.99, Hulu, $14.99, Spotify, $16.99, Amazon Prime, $14.99, Planet Fitness, $44, Meal Kit, $120, Cloud Storage, $9.99, New York Times, $17, Forgotten Patreon, $10, Yoga App, $12.99. That's $288 monthly, or $3,456 yearly. Research shows the average household has 12 to 15 active subscriptions and underestimates total spending by 30 to 40%. Sarah visits the gym 6 times monthly. That's $7.33 per visit. Tom hasn't watched his Patreon creator in 8 months. Cutting unused subscriptions would save $150 monthly, or $1,800 yearly. Running total, $28,125. Sarah and Tom set up their insurance years ago and haven't looked since. They're paying $285 monthly for car insurance with $500 deductibles and full coverage on both vehicles, even though Tom's truck is worth $18,000 and Sarah's CRV is $22,000. Increasing deductibles to $1,000 and dropping collision on the older truck saves $95 monthly, $1,140 yearly. Shopping home insurance could save another $600 yearly. J.D. Power research shows people who shop insurance annually save an average of $416 compared to those who stay with the same provider 5+ years. But insurance shopping is boring and feels like homework. That boredom costs about $1,740 yearly. Total waste now, $29,865. Lawn service, $150 monthly. Cleaning service, twice monthly, $240. Grocery delivery fees, $30. Laundry service, $80. Total, $500 monthly, or $6,000 yearly. Here's the nuance. These aren't inherently waste if you're using saved time meaningfully. But Sarah and Tom use the time to scroll social media and watch TV. The American Time Use Survey found households using convenience services don't report more leisure time or higher life satisfaction, just different ways of being busy. Cutting these services in half saves $3,000 yearly. Running total, $32,865. Sarah and Tom's friends, Mike and Jennifer, have 2 kids. Club soccer, $2,400 plus $1,200 travel. Piano, $1,920 yearly. Travel baseball, $3,200. Summer coding camp, $1,800. Total, $10,520 annually on kids' activities, 11% of their $92,000 take-home pay. Brookings Institution research shows middle-class parents spend significantly more on children's enrichment than 30 years ago, while upper and lower income spending stayed flat. But child development research shows unstructured play and family time predict outcomes better than paid activities. Focusing on one sport and one activity per kid would cost $4,200 instead of $10,520, saving $6,320 yearly. Added up, between oversized housing, expensive cars, convenience food, unused subscriptions, unoptimized insurance, unnecessary services, and excessive activities, the average middle-class household wastes $25,000 to $40,000 yearly. If Sarah and Tom saved just $15,000 annually and invested it at 8%, they'd have $247,000 in 10 years. In 20 years, $742,000. The difference between financial security and stress isn't making more money, it's plugging leaks you don't realize exist. Here's what to do. Audit your life quarterly. Ask, is this adding value proportional to cost? Not whether you can afford it, whether it's worth it. Optimize the big three first: housing, transportation, food. These represent 60 to 70% of waste. Automate savings and add friction to waste. If you must manually approve subscriptions, you'll cancel unused ones. Build around flexibility, not appearance. Every dollar locked into looking middle class can't be used when life changes. Question the defaults. The middle-class lifestyle you're taught to want was designed to keep you working, spending, and stressed. This isn't about deprivation, it's about seeing the invisible, recognizing that financial pressure isn't personal failure, it's the predictable result of accepting normalized waste. Sarah and Tom aren't broke because they're irresponsible. They're barely saving because they're following the script, and the script is expensive. If you're making good money and still feeling broke, the answer isn't working harder. It's finding the leaks, plugging them, and redirecting that money toward actual security instead of the appearance of success. Wealthy people don't waste money on things that don't matter. Middle-class people do, and that's one of the main reasons wealthy people stay wealthy and middle-class people stay stuck. You can change that, but first, you have to see it. If this shifted how you think about spending, hit subscribe, drop a comment with which of these 7 resonates most, and if you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.